In this video, we are going to learn how to find inverse functions, specifically when we begin with a radical equation. Find the inverse of each function. Remember that inverse simply means that our x and our y switch spots. So this equation will become x equals the square root of 2y minus 14. And now our job becomes getting y by itself. So because both the 2 and the 14 are inside the square root, I will need to start this problem by canceling the square root with a squared. Square root and a square will cancel, and 2y minus 14 comes down. And on the left-hand side, it will be x squared. Now I can add 14 to both sides of my equation. 14's cancel, 2y comes down, and x squared plus 14 comes down. And now I will divide everything by 2. The 2's will cancel. 1 x squared divided by 2 becomes 1/2 x squared. And 14 divided by 2 becomes 7. And now that y is by itself, I am ready to write my final answer. Y equals 1/2 x squared plus 7. Now in the computer, you will need to type this y equals 1/2 x, make the caret 2 plus 7. Let's look at the second example. Again, inverse means that the x and the y need to change spots. So this problem becomes x equals 4 square root y plus 9. And now we need to get y by itself. And we always begin by what is on the outside of the square root. So I will start by subtracting 9 on both sides. 4 square root of y comes down, and x minus 9 comes down. Now I will divide by 4. So the square root of y will equal 1/4 x minus 9/4. Now, to get my y completely by itself, I will need to cancel my y squared. So to cancel a square root, I will need to use a square. Square root and square cancel. Y comes down. Now it's very important here that you keep the parentheses when you create your final answer. Y is by itself, so we are complete. And our final answer is y equals parenthesis 1/4 x minus 9/4 squared. Again, those parentheses are very important.